at the back.
I need Dane out.
Right here, gentlemen.
I know all you guys.
All the way down to the airport, you guys. One last time. Here we go, guys. One last time. Here we go, guys. Over here, guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Everyone right here, come on, please.
We're breaking.
Thank you, guys.
Is there ever any question this would be in San Francisco? We don't see many premieres here. I think Moneyball was the last one in the Bay Area.
Probably.
That's right.
Hill.
Yeah.
Moneyball.
It was in Oakland.
All right.
I think Oakland's first ever.
You know what? Of course we represent San Francisco all over the world. We fly the flag for San Francisco all over the world. 75% of the T-shirts and the merchandise we sell says Metallica San Francisco on it. So we're fiercely proud of our backyard.
Yeah, what are the
Obviously, we
highlights?
would have this premiere no other place than San Francisco.
What about the set? I've been going to Metallica concerts since the 80s, and I haven't seen a set like that. Even the Death Magnetic tour didn't have all that. I mean, how much went into that? Was there a lot of
Is this gonna break any
practice and testing?
There was not enough practice, and not enough testing. That's the way it always is.
I mean, there was always an air of danger, you know, which is good. Because we were able to navigate the stage just well enough to not totally injure ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's the biggest indoor stage ever, and you got stuff coming out, you know, pyrotechnics, you got stuff flying above you. It's really fun, actually. Edge of your seat.
And because you're on a red carpet, and I don't know what else to ask,
Is it red?
who are you wearing? I think that's... Do you know?
What would that be, Pendleton or Van?
I'm wearing Comme des Garçons.
What's that?
Comme des Garçons. I actually know what I'm wearing.
You do?
Yeah, I seriously know what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
That's how, close to professional we are right now.
Oswald Boltain.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me.
Back in the Bay Area, you decided to have your premiere here. What message does that send to the fans here in the Bay Area who've been with you this whole time? What message do you have for those fans?
Well, we consider ourselves a Bay Area band, so of course we're going to have our U.S. premiere here in the Bay Area, and we'd like to celebrate the fact that we're from here and we live here, and it's just a great, wonderful place for music. And they've been so supportive of music in general for like the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Why not?
Right. And then finally, so there was a lot of hubbub about the electric chair. Did we make it through without anybody dying?
It's not over yet, you know. I don't know. It is 3D. It's not 4D where electricity comes out into the audience. We don't want to give anything away, but we might be touring this thing. So this is the most dangerous stage that has ever been.
Did you take the electric chair?
Well, what they are Tesla coils around the electric chair, and those lightning arcs want to arc on metal, so you just have to be careful not to be too heavy metal.
Yeah, nobody does metal better than you. Listen, thank you for taking the time. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
James Hatfield.
The rest of the rows. This is a heavy metal movie.
The mosh pit!
Right there. That's the stake that they just didn't set it up. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our movie. It's a real honor. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we enjoy making it. And yeah, it's a good experience, and I hope you have a good time.
It's sold out, right? I mean, honestly, yeah. No, I mean, It's funny because when I first joined Metallica, my first gig was at San Quentin State Penitentiary. I guess this is an extension of that, right? Here we go, another wild ride.
A week ago, we started up in Toronto at the world premiere up there. Then we had another premiere in Germany and Berlin 3 days ago. We were in Russia 2 days ago. And now we're fucking home, thank God. Our part tour, so, 30 years ago, James and I moved the band up here to San Francisco from LA, and we've traveled all over the world and been proud to call San Francisco our home and represent San Francisco on every t-shirt and, patch and leather jacket and whatever else. So to be here at home in our backyard and have all our families and all our familiar faces and friends, it's so cool. And we're just beyond psyched that 3 years later, this movie actually exists. It's been a pretty crazy ride, very cool, a couple times a little overwhelming, sometimes bewildering, but we're here, we have a movie. See, Nimród is still smiling, look. Lars is smiling, look. Dane is smiling, James is smiling, look, everybody's smiling. It's so fucking cool. Look at this. So thanks for coming out and sharing this evening with us. We're so proud. We'll see you around the corner for a beverage in 2 hours. All right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful with the mosh pit here, don't get too injured. It is. We're stepping up. We're getting old. Got carpet in the mosh pit now. All right. But yeah, this is kind of no surprise. Lars and I were sitting in the garage in 1981 thinking one day, 3D movie, IMAX, hometown, so it's happened. Check that one off. Next. No, I'm extremely grateful to be standing here and hanging out with these guys of 32 years, standing in front of a screen where this movie's going to be showing our life, really. For 32 years we've been on the road doing cool stuff, and this is kind of a culmination of all of the tours put into one, along with an amazing storyline. We're super grateful to have this opportunity to make this movie. Financially, connection-wise, it couldn't have happened without very cool people in the industry like these, and our management and all the other people along on the ride. We've met a lot of very cool people, so we're very grateful, and let's keep going.
My parents wouldn't let me listen to Metallica when I was a kid. And they're here tonight, and I'm really happy to have the opportunity to literally throw it in their face.
Well, I will say that Q Prime originally invited me on this journey, and it's really 2 years ago today. I was at Yankee Stadium at my first Metallica concert, and a year ago today we were filming, and now we're here, and I feel like it's been an amazing passion project. These guys are incredible performers and incredible people, and I feel really honored to be part of your journey. Thank you.
I have a lot to say, but I think that you guys are only going to hear blah, 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 blah. I think everybody wants to see Metallica Through the Never, so I think we should just get to it. Yeah!
So we will have more mics by the end of the show. But for right now, would you like to say a few words, James?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Really grateful to be standing here and presenting boy, over 2 years of work here, but really for us, 30 plus years, because this is kind of a best of live performance. So we've been working on this thing our whole careers, and who'd have thought we'd be standing up here introing one of our movies? It is a dream and a blessing. Here's Lars.
You know what? It's been a crazy week. We were in Toronto on Wednesday and Thursday. Rob and I were in Berlin on Friday. We premiered this movie in the Kremlin in Moscow on Saturday. How crazy is that? And last night we premiered it in San Francisco. And now we're in Marin. It doesn't get any closer to our backyard than right here. We are like, most of us live like 12 seconds from here. So when you flush the toilet in my house, you can hear it there. So this is so cool, and you know, like, we're grateful that Mark invited us, and we are fierce supporters of everything Marin and everything San Francisco. And so to be back here and to be standing on the stage, to be part of the Mill Valley Film Festival, which I've been a huge fan of for years, is such a privilege. And to have this movie that James is saying we've been working on for almost 3 decades, more or less, to be the kickoff for the Mill Valley Film Festival is a true honor as a film buff and as a member of the local community. So thank you for showing up and sharing this with us, and we're super psyched.
Thank you all for coming. I want to thank Mark for having us. It's a great honor to be here tonight. And thank you for being here tonight. I hope you guys enjoy this movie as much as we enjoyed making it. And yeah, it's a great ride. Cheers.
From my first gig at San Quentin State Penitentiary to the San Rafael Theater. Hey, Mike Borden, what's going on, buddy? It's a joy to be here. Again, you know, a couple years of hard work. It's been a long journey, fueled by passion and craziness, because we're all standing here and we're all a little bit crazy, but that's a good thing. And I hope you enjoy this unique experience. Have fun.
I think you should all stay standing for the entire movie. This has been the most unique, undeniably cool experience of my life. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. It seems like the right crowd. I did not think you will be disappointed, so enjoy it.
I know that you guys really want to get to this film, so I'll just keep it short, as it was an honor to work with some immensely talented gentlemen over the past few years. They are the biggest band in the world, and you're going to see that on the screen right now. Thank you all for coming.
And I want to thank Bob and Jeannie Birdie for the picture. I want to thank you guys for making this film, because I don't use the words courageous and creative and passionate lightly, and certainly everything that you've been doing as a band, and also Dane and Nimród, in terms of making this film, is the definition of that. Risk-taking, and I believe it's probably some risk-taking with your lives, and maybe we'll hear a little bit about that too. But let's start, you know, it's certainly not at the very beginning where all the influences happened with this, but in terms of the script, because most everybody on this panel has had something to do with the ideas for the story. And how did that come about? I try to visualize the process. I try to visualize physically what the script would look like. and I'm having a little problem. But because it's so complicated in terms of the music and the lyrics and the famous iconic symbols that you're using and the narrative, and when you come in and when you come out. How did this process work? Who wants to start?
We started in 1981. No. Met Lars in the paper.
In the bathroom. Well, I mean, the seeds to this movie go back to 1997, actually, when we were approached by IMAX. At that time, IMAX were doing pretty much just specialty films, you know, scuba diving and mountain climbing and nature films and all that type of stuff. And they approached us to do a specialty concert film for them. At that time, they were still using analog cameras, and I mean, it was very, very complicated. So we sort of shelved the idea, but we kept it. And a couple of 4 years ago, spring of 2010, we picked it back up again and thought the idea of doing a big Metallica film for theaters, 3D, with concerts and some other elements would be an interesting creative challenge. Even though the Some Kind of Monster ride was obviously documenting a pretty difficult time in our lives, the experience of the film, especially and the way it was embraced, especially by the film community, was very positive. So we thought, you know, let's make another movie, and obviously different and so on. But the one thing that we thought that worked really well about Some Kind of Monster movie was that there was a kind of a story to it. It wasn't just about four guys in a rock and roll band. I mean, it was a story about relationships, and there was this kind of organic, dramatic arc in the movie. And so we figured if we somehow could fuse a story into a concert film, you know, something dramatic, something, you know, a narrative, that would be really cool and would be unlike anything that we'd ever seen and unlike anything anybody else had ever seen. So we started reaching out to different people, trying to find some creative partners, some writers and some directors, and that led us. Does that mean I'm over my time?
Yes.
So that led us to Nimród, and basically, you know, once we sort of decided that he was courageous enough to take this journey with us, then Nimród went away and created the character of Trip and put the whole thing into a script and came up with a whole sort of post-apocalyptic, you know, nightmare and that whole thing. So really, I think the brunt of it, the credit should be given to Nimród for writing it, even though all of us are credited. It's really Nimród's, the narrative is really Nimród's idea.
Woo! Can you just say a little bit about that experience of writing it, and you know, the inspiration that Metallica had on you to carry this through?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, thank you guys for coming out tonight, and I want to thank the band. I want to thank the band for an opportunity that was really a dream come true for me. I've been a fan of theirs for a long, long time. And going into the project, I was initially approached by Charlotte Huggins, our producer, and she told us, she asked me if 3D Metallica concert, does that interest me? I was like, yes. So I was fortunate enough to meet with, I think I met with Lars first, and he explained to me the concept that they had wanted to do. And it was so unusual, and you know, I had come from making no-budget movies in Budapest, Hungary, and that was actually a really beautiful experience for me as far as an artist. But then I found myself trying to support my kids and my family doing studio films, and it was not fulfilling. And I'm proud of those movies, and I had a great, you know, opportunity to make those films. But this kind of took me back to doing the things that I wanted to do. The idea was so far out, so weird. I thought, man, we gotta try. And unfortunately, you know, the guys in the band felt that they gave me the chance. And I want you all to know that for me, like, the first and the most important thing was I wanted them to be proud, and I wanted them to be happy with what we had. And secondly, I wanted the fans, man. I wanted the fans to be really proud of this film. So they challenged me with this idea to come up with this concept as far as the story goes. And I went away, and you know, I had met with them over a course of a few months, and we kept on going back and forth. And protest Metallica has always been for me, especially in my life at that point. I was going through a lot of difficult stuff when I found them, and they've always represented, excuse me if there's any young guys in the audience or young gals, but they've always represented fuck you music. And you know, I thought that protest naturally kind of made its way into the storyline initially, and the most important part was the character of Trip. And I had met with a gentleman that works for the band, and he's worked with them for quite a while. His name is Dan Brown. And there's a few other people that I had met that were part of the crew. Vicky Strait's here as well, I believe, and Bree. Yeah. And you know, it was really refreshing to me was seeing there's a band that goes out and gives it their all every night. And you guys feel it, you see it, but behind them there's also a crew of people that work just as hard to make it happen. And those people had such a love and a loyalty for that band, man. It was truly inspiring to see in this egocentric day and age to have someone really just work for something bigger, work for something that inspired them. And Trip was born. That character just was born at that moment. And then as the film progressed, I was lucky enough to work with the guy that's sitting right next to me. This is one of the most phenomenal talents I've worked with, but he's also just a super nice dude. So let's give it up for Dane as well.
Well, Dane, you get the script. It's got no dialogue for you, very little dialogue in the whole movie. I think Kirk has the line.
I have like 4 words or something.
Yeah, that was
as much as I can remember.
The big monologue, and
like 12 takes.
And so
it was 15, okay.
And you see the script, and you know, what was that like?
Yes, so the script was basically like a 15-page story, and obviously a lot of shit happens in the movie, so it was really hard to actually like wrap my mind around it and make sense of what exactly was going on. But it was certainly intriguing, and like obviously the idea of making this movie with Metallica and the whole concept was really kind of confusing but alluring. And then I met with Nimród, and he kind of, you know, put it all into context and told me what it meant to him. And you know, it was really seeing the passion that he had for the project, and the fact that even though he wrote this fucking crazy story, like it had a really true meaning to him, and he made it very clear to me. And then, you know, so that was pretty much it. But like on paper, the script was, you know, it was
a mess.
It was crazy.
Hi, I'm from Gotcha Movies,
Hey.
locally based in Boston. I have a few questions. First off, what made you decide to go from like complete fiction to a concert movie?
Well, I think that within this concept, they had the idea of adding the narrative into it, and that's actually what was intriguing and ultimately attractive to me, was the narrative portion in the film. It's such a weird thing, you know, the marriage.
So they came to you about it?
Well, they came to me with the concept of, hey, we have this idea of mixing a story into a concert. Here, figure it out. And you know, I went away, they challenged me to come up with some ideas, and I came back and started pitching them different ideas, and we kind of arrived to Trip and his journey.
So how is this different filming than like Predators or Vacancy or even your what is it?
Control, yeah.
Control, yes.
Those were, you know, classic narratives. I mean, they follow the classic genres, or in Control's case, a mix of genres. With this movie, we had no point of reference. We didn't know, like, what can you compare it to? And as a filmmaker, often you mine from existing material that you know, and we didn't have that opportunity here. So.
Well, that's really that's exciting that you got to do this at least.
Oh,
have you seen the finished product yet, or is this the first time?
You know, I've seen it about 400 times.
You've seen it about 400 times? Are you excited to see it for the 401st time?
I am. I'm hoping Texas likes it as much as I do.
You came and filmed Predators in Austin a little bit. Are you excited to be back here?
Very, and I love the food here in Austin. It was awesome, and I lived here for a year, and I love you guys.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was really great.
now.
You'll see what I mean. I mean, the whole point was to like bring the viewer on stage with us, you know, amidst all the sweat and volume and just pure energy, you know, it's kind of swirling all around us, and you know, to see the interactions between us and the audience. And you know, I really think that the IMAX 3D adds a lot to just the overall depth and hugeness of the experience, and with the narrative as well.
Good. Awesome. Thanks so much for talking to me, man. I really appreciate it.
Mark Martinez, nice to meet you.
Do you have any inspiring words for aspiring bassists out there? Because I mean, as far as bassists go, you're pretty at the top of the game right now.
I mean, you know, as a bass player, I really suggest that you listen to all styles of music. Don't limit yourself just to heavy metal, or you know, listen to punk rock, listen to metal, but also embrace, you know, rhythm and blues or funk music. I mean, I grew up listening to James Brown. You know, my mom was dancing in the living room in her hot pants and her elevator shoes back in the 70s, and I was right there with her, you know. And you know, that transitioned into Led Zeppelin and of course Black Sabbath. Geezer Butler is one of my heroes. I just saw him play 2 weeks ago. I took my 9-year-old son and my 7-year-old daughter, and they had a blast.
You sound like the best dad ever.
Oh, well, I think they enjoyed it as much as me, and we were in the audience. We weren't like hiding from the audience. I took them out into the, you know, into the, you know, the energy of it all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. All right.
Appreciate it.
Buddy, how you doing? How's the fantastic best treating you? So yeah, I have a mild confession I got to make to you guys, and it's something I'm a little bit nervous about talking about. When I was in high school, I listened to pretty much the pussiest music around. I listened to Smiths, I listened to Cure. I was in a very put those hands down when I talked about those bands, Elijah. Put those hands down. Those are not hands you can use with those two bands. I'm just saying, I was rebelling against a very metal town. It wasn't until college when somebody handed me a cassette tape of Master of Puppets that I regretted every single musical moment of my high school career, and I understood the true power of metal. So I'm going to renounce my high school music listening, even though, you know, there's something, those bands are okay. But tonight, this is the culmination of it all. This is as metal as Fantastic Fest is ever going to be, and I'm so pleased to be presenting Metallica tonight. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for making it happen. Now, you know you're going to be watching Metallica Through the Never here, but what you may not know is we've got a very, very special world premiere short. So now I'm going to bring a very special guest up to the stage. Robert Trujillo, why don't you say what we're going to be watching before a very metal Metallica?
Hey, thanks for showing up. Actually, what this is an animated short. It's a 3-minute animated short. Many years ago, I had an idea to create something that's about the Metallica parking lot and what happens in the Metallica parking lot. It's a wild, crazy universe out there. You know, anywhere in the world, shit's going on. You know, it's a lot of partying and it's a fun time. Anyway, this was a collaboration with Titmouse Animation. Titmouse, as you know or may not know, they animate a lot of the Adult Swim Network stuff, Death Clock, Metalocalypse, and they were incredible. It took us about 6 months to put this together. There are a lot of really fun cameos in this, you know, there's little treasures that are directly linked to the lineage of Metallica. So you can't even blink because there's so much going on. It really is an explosion. But really quickly, I'd like to introduce you to Antonio Canubio from Titmouse Animation. Here's my partner.
Hey guys, so yeah, Robert came to us and was like, I've got this idea, I came up with this script, and it's gonna be an explosion, and while we were making it, we couldn't blink either, because it's going so fast, and he wanted to represent every parking lot around the world, so we had to bring all these styles together and just bring all that craziness to life. So we brought in all these illustrators, all these people that we love and that Robert loves, and James. We use these doodles.
That's right. James is an avid doodler. Like when we're having meetings, he's got his folder there, or you know, his paper and pen. He's always drawing cartoon characters, and the peripheral characters in Metallica Parking Lot, I'd say 80% of them are James Hetfield's doodles. And he actually kind of co-wrote this with me. He fine-tuned it for me, and also the music is original. It's a original score, which is also a great challenge, but also super exciting. And the other thing I gotta say is it all came to me in a dream. I woke up at 5 in the morning, and there was Metallica Parking Lot, the storyline and the thread. So, the other thing, Mike Judge, important partner.
Robert Collins that worked on the gorilla stuff. There's, I mean, you name it. There's Pusshead as well.
Pusshead,
there's Dirty Donnie. Juno did a lot of designs. Juno is one of the
Black
directors.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, enjoy Metallica Parking Lot, have fun with it, and do not blink because you will miss something, most definitely. And
Yeah. So put your 3D glasses on. It's not all in 3D, but enough of the short is in 3D. So do that. We're gonna watch the short, and we'll come back up and talk about the feature in just a moment. All right, so if we had time, I would like to play that another 4 or 5 times so we can see the visual density. We'll find out where we can see that short more because I want to devour that frame by frame. So now we're on to the feature presentation, and I gotta say when I first found out that there was going to be a Metallica 3D movie this year, I just automatically assumed it was going to be your standard, typical concert film, which would be amazing. Don't get me wrong, that would be amazing. But then I found out that there was a certain gentleman attached, Nimród Antal, and I said, this is not going to be what I thought it was going to be. There's going to be something more, there's going to be layers, and it's going to be awesome. So I'd like to bring Nimród down to the stage. Tell us a little bit about what we got in store.
Hey everybody, thank you for coming out. I see some friends and folks that I worked on Predator with. Let me just start by saying I love Austin, and thank you guys for having us here. It was an incredible experience for me to work here for a year. And I didn't move here, so don't tell me to leave quite yet. But I had an incredible experience. Someone approached me at one point and said, hey, does a Metallica concert film interest you? And of course I said yes, and then they said, it's going to be shot in 3D. We've never done that. Is that a problem? I said, maybe for you guys, not for me. And then they said, there's going to be a narrative that they want to put into it. And I thought, that was so fucking weird. And it was so unlike anything I'd ever heard of or seen, and I jumped at an opportunity to work with these guys. Some of the most remarkable gentlemen. I mean, as performers, you guys clearly know who they are. But as human beings, they're also just really, really solid dudes. So let me just start by saying, Metallica, everybody! Robert, Kirk, Metallica.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Okay, so thank you for being here tonight. It's a real honor to be here at a Fantastic Fest. Yeah, we made a concert movie, and when the idea came up to make this movie, we thought, well, how can we make this different? How can we make this a different experience? How can we make it unique? And then we kind of pulled our thoughts together and our ideas and decided we need to put a story into this movie to make it stand alone and make it unique. And when we initially saw the first few treatments that came in, there were like 4 out of the 5 treatments we had, 4 of them were science fiction treatments, and then there was this man's treatment. And you know, science fiction and Metallica just for some reason didn't sound so congruent to me. You know, there's a rub there somewhere. But Nimród's treatment was just so great from the onset, and you know, I really felt that Nimród understood as a band and instinctively understood where we were coming from, and you know, we put our faith in this man, and he came up with a really great concept for the narrative that was so together, but yet there is a lot of room for us to put in our own ideas, and you know, Nimrod's collaborative spirit really shone through in this movie, and I have to say, man, you know, I hope you guys really love it, because not only is it a concert a film, there's also this amazing storyline that goes through it, and it has lots of different horror elements that I myself, as a big horror fan, just love. So
yeah, this was quite an adventure for us. Our management brought it up to, you know, kind of, it had been floating around for about 15 years. And about 4 years ago, I think it was, Q Prime, our management team, kind of thought, you know, it's the right time to do this. We can celebrate the past and the theatrics of the past with Master of Puppets and Injustice for All, and, you know, Ride the Lightning and all that. But the challenge was the narrative. And this gentleman right here went away and came back with a really great, incredible visual experience. Okay. Anyway, and as you know, Metallica takes challenges, and this was a huge challenge for us. You know, I always talk about how my first gig with Metallica was at San Quentin State Penitentiary, you know, and this is an extension of that experience. You know, it's like jump in the water and swim, you know, and maybe you won't drown, maybe you will.
You mean being put in prison again?
It's a possibility, you know? So anyway, enjoy this. We're really proud of it. You know, it's been a long, hard road, but we're so proud of Nimród, and you know, we're all a little bit crazy here. We're very passionate about what we do, and he's right there with us 100%. So enjoy the film. It's a wild ride, and hope you love it. We do. Thanks. And, you know, again, Nimród was fearless in that challenge. You know, he was open to it, and he also welcomed ideas from us, and you know, that's rare. Some people don't want to collaborate in that way, but really, I mean, the narrative is completely created by Nimród, top to bottom. You know, that's his statement. You know, where he drew it from and the ideas he got. I mean, that's all in the skull right here. It's a big skull, but it's a powerful one
with a lot of great hair on it.
Yeah, we love his haircut, by the way.
It is a very nice haircut.
$12 haircut. As you can tell, Kirk and I, you know, we still, we're still teenagers. Huh? I mean, where's the barber? We love surfing, by the way. I didn't know. Shoots.
So, Kirk, in addition to surfing, I know that I know just from being a fan myself, and also from the graphic design on your guitars throughout this movie, that you're not just a rock and roll legend, you're a complete and utter dork. So
correct.
I wanted to ask you, I'm going to change it up a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, so you see before you the future of genre film fans. What are the 3 classic horror films that everybody in this room and in this building has to have seen to be a self-respecting nerd?
Well, you know, I grew up on the old classic Universal movies that were made in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I mean, I gravitated toward that stuff when I was really young, and so those movies mean a lot to me. And so I have to say, Bride of Frankenstein is one of my most favorite movies in the world. I've seen that movie at least 100 times. I can quote dialogue from it. I know every scene. And so, yeah, that I would have to say Bride of Frankenstein. To jump up to the 60s, there's a genre film called The Amazing Two-Headed Transplant. Not a whole lot of people know about, but it's, for me, you know, it was so ridiculous and horrific when I saw it when I was 12 years old or however I was like, yes, this is great because it's totally unbelievable, but totally entertaining and shocking in that someone had the fucking chutzpah to like actually make this fucking movie. And shortly after that movie was made, there was another movie that was made called The Thing with Two Heads, which was just like The Amazing Two-Headed Transplant, and that was heaven. and so, yeah, you know, those two movies are huge in my book. And jumping to the 80s, I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, so seeing Reanimator and From Beyond, those two. You know, there's a lot of like modern horror movies that I really think are great, like Cabin in the Woods, Insidious, Troll Hunter, and not to mention all the great programming that's on television now. I mean, True Blood is great, Walking Dead is great, American Horror Story. I mean, you know, now it's such a great time for horror fans because there's so many great films being made by so many great directors and Nimród himself, I mean, with Predators and our own movie. I mean, it is such a great time to be a horror fan. I'm really proud to be a part of it all, really.
So that's the end of the Q&A. No, we will take. That's okay. Shit, we should have saved that for the last. I hope you were writing that down. So self-respecting horror fans, not just 3, but there's 17 you have to watch. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and open it.
So, without giving away any spoilers, can you say what your favorite part of the movie-making process is and what your favorite part, now that it's finished, is?
Well, yeah, besides us playing on the hugest and most dangerous stage in rock and roll, and not catching on fire this time. Thank you. And not getting zapped by 10,000 volts that happens up in there. I don't want to give away a lot of this stuff, but you know, the whole stage is filled with all of the theatrical craziness that we've done over the past 30 years of our career. So it is the best of live. And my favorite part, I would say, is Trip, is the kid's name, who's the roadie in this movie. He all of a sudden finds himself in a certain situation, and when a certain song kicks off, I get goosebumps every time. So hopefully everyone else here does.
This one I want to be a little bit careful because I don't want to spoil it, but you make an entrance in the film that is very signature, and I wanted to know if you had anything to do with deciding that.
Yeah, yes, of course. I do have a passion for cars and hot rods and stuff, so one of the main things was I had to figure out how can I get my car in the movie. One of my cars got to be in the movie, so we did. They shipped it up to Vancouver, and there's a parking lot scene where my car's in it. So. Yeah, this is a labor of love for the last 2 years, and hopefully it kicks everyone's ass in here.
I want to give everybody a second to find their seats so you can see this amazing stage, this fantastic band, and please put your hands together and make as much noise as you can.
Hopefully you love it. The narrative is pretty crazy. He goes through some crazy stuff. It's layers. It's going with an open mind. You might not understand what the hell's going on in the story, but later on it might occur to you. So if you love it, tell your friends, and then hopefully we can spread this Metallica disease even further. Thank you.
This is way past everybody's bedtime.
Yeah, mine too.
What's going on out here in Universal City?
I think this is amazing. I want to ask you guys a few questions. First of all, how excited are you for this movie? I want to set this up for them. You guys have blazed so many trails as Metallica, and you're always like ahead of the game. I would have never seen this coming. ever, this movie that we're about to see. So what sparked the idea? When was it born for this movie?
That's a really big screen.
Isn't it huge?
Wow. Well, it actually goes back to 1997 when IMAX asked us if we would make a short Metallica concert film for them, and it was too complicated at the time. The cameras were analog; they were like the size of houses, and it was just really impractical. But 3 years ago, with digital technology and all that stuff, it sort of the idea came back around, and we thought it would be fun to just make a really big, like crazy, fuck-off 3D movie. And so it took 3 years, but here we are. And I just gotta say that tonight, you know, the 4 members of Metallica are spread all around. Hetfield is up north, Kirk is in Chicago or someplace, and Trujillo is in New Jersey. I think Kirk's going to Texas tomorrow. Well, you know what? I'm in Southern California. I do the long straw on this one, boys and girls. So I'm so psyched to be here, and we worked on this movie just down the street from here for the better part of last year. So coming down here and sharing this with you people here in the wee hours of the morning is so cool.
Wee hours. Let me ask you this. On behalf of your fans, I'm going to say thank you for all the years that you've given us, and you put on another hat. And hopefully in the future we'll be like, ooh, now what else I can do? And then we'll get even more stuff. But thank you, because for a lot of us, Metallica is not just songs, it's a religion, and it's a lifestyle. Self-confidence. You put it on and you're having a shitty day, and all of a sudden you feel like a badass because Metallica says you're badass. Yeah.
Thank you. So I just want to say thanks to all the support we're getting from K-Rock and you and the rest of your crew. And thanks to everybody who's been coming out. There were a lot of great people down in the Chinese Theater a couple hours ago. Look at all of you coming out here.
You're awesome, man.
Maybe we'll see you in Norwalk and Brunswick and all these other crazy places. Thanks for supporting Metallica all through the years. We love you, and I drew the long straw by coming to Southern California, right?
Thank you, Lars. You guys enjoyed the movie? Thank you.
To be a concert film only, we felt that it was necessary to do something different, and we wanted to bring in a narrative. And Nimród, our director, who directed Predator and a film called Control, he had that crazy look in his eye. You know, Lars, James, and Kirk and I are a little bit crazy, and we're pretty crazy. He had that same look, and a lot of directors didn't want to take it on. It was like, you know, they didn't want to deal with the stage unless they were part of the construction of it. And Nimród came in with all those challenges, and he put together this incredible narrative that we actually collaborated on it with him. And we wanted to bring the viewer to the stage. As most of you know, we play 360 in the round, and we wanted people to feel the impact of like Hetfield's mug right in front of their face, and Lars' sweat, and you know, and Kirk's booty right there, you know, all that stuff. And as you'll find out when you see this, the stage is the largest indoor stage ever. Incredibly dangerous. Pyrotechnics coming out of everywhere. Cameras flying over you. Kirk almost got blown up like 5 times. It got to the point where they had to put, you know, gaffer tape, fluorescent gaffer tape that said, "Kirk, do not stand here or you will die." You know, for this song one, you will not stand here because you will die, you know, or fuel. Anyway, so it's an honor to be here. Enjoy the wild ride. I'm sure you're gonna dig it. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you, man.
Really. Thanks, yeah. All right, yeah. Appreciate it. Hello, Jersey.
That was awesome. You guys pumped up for the show, right? Yeah. So you've seen this movie. You've seen it before. Is there a moment on the screen that you said, "Holy crap! I can't believe I'm a part of this"? Is there like a moment that you kind of point out?
Well, all I have to say is at one point the 4 huge Tesla coils come down and shoot out lightning bolts, and I have to say it was scary to film, but God damn it looks amazing on film. So yeah, that's one of my favorite parts.
Very nice, very nice. And like we've all seen concert videos before. We've all seen these movies about bands or on stage. How is this one totally blowing everything else away? What's different?
Well, of course, we're in 3D. But we wanted to make a concert film that was different from all the other concert films that we've seen in the past. And we wanted something that was uniquely different. And we wanted to make something very special for our fans. And so we thought that if we put a story in the movie, along with the concert footage, it would make the whole movie different enough and unique enough for us to really be able to put our Metallica stamp on it, and we're really happy on how it turned out. Nimród did an amazing job, and all I have to say is I'm fucking psyched about it. You guys. When I watch this movie, I can't, I want to just stand up and start fucking headbanging. And if you guys feel it, you guys should do that too, for sure. Yeah.
Wow. You know what's really cool is that, does anybody know where Metallica was actually formed? There you go. Just down the street where the 105 freeway is now. There was a house on 13004 Curtis and King. You said that. You said that? And now it's just a freeway. Right. How sad is that? Oh, fuck. James Hetfield lived there. There should be like a plaque or some shit, right? Huh? Anyway, so it's kind of fun to be back here. It's Mustaine was down in Huntington Beach. I was at Newport Beach, and we used to drive up the 605 and get off on Imperial Highway and come in reverse. In 1981, when none of you were born. How fucking cool is that? Anyway, it's so awesome to be back. Thanks for coming out and supporting this. The boys in Metallica spread 4 corners. Trujillo's on the East Coast, Hamilton, Texas, Hetfield's up north. But you know what? I'm in Southern California. I win, right? No fucking cooler place to be. Anyway, maybe I should pass it back to you.
I got a couple questions for you. So, first of all, is this IMAX thing, is this the biggest you've seen in your head to this point?
These are all, they're all fucking huge. You gotta put a perspective up there. See that guy up there? He's got the best seat in the house. The one at Universal last night was pretty giant. This looks really cool. God damn. But they're all like huge. It's part of that huge thing, IMAX thing. The bigger, the better, the more ridiculous. Right.
The louder, too. So you come up with the idea to do a movie. Is there like a concert movie bar? Like I'm thinking maybe the One Direction movie or.
It was the Justin Bieber, the One Direction movie. Those were the main inspirations for it, the reason you're here, One Direction. No, that was pretty much everything that we didn't want this to be. No disrespect, okay? But nobody needs another infomercial, and Metallica getting in and out of airplanes and cars and getting massaged and all that shit. Nobody needs to see that. So we just wanted to try to kind of put a different spin on this genre, and we found like the coolest actor in Hollywood, and we found the coolest director. We wrote a story. We have like real actors and real directors, and it's like really cool, man. But we're just, you guys know, we just love to try to do some different shit than all the other stuff that everybody else is doing, and we like to challenge ourselves, and maybe we'll even challenge you. So, we're just trying to do something different. Ow!
That's so awesome. I remember talking to you at Outside Lands in San Francisco a couple of years ago when you just got ready to shoot the concert scenes for this, and you guys were so stoked about what this is going to be, and I, for one, can't wait to see it. Are you guys ready to see it? Ready to show it?
Yeah, this is so cool. Fucking Norwalk, man. Back in Norwalk. 32 years later, when Hetfield and I started the band just around the corner, we said, 32 years from now, we're going to have a big fucking IMAX movie just down the street.
That was the reason we got together. Anyway, fucking thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting the cause, and I hope you guys dig it. From all the boys in Metallica, lots of love. We love you, we respect you. Thank you for sharing, spending your Friday night with us, and we hope you dig the movie, all right?
Fucking Norwalk! Through the Never, everybody!
So you did 8 rehearsal shows for the crazy crowd in Mexico to get ready to actually film, and you filmed in Canada?
Correct. Basically, we had a few different phases of rehearsals. We rehearsed on Treasure Island, which is in San Francisco. We were there for a week. Then the stage went away and they went and retweaked things. The Lady Justice statue, we call her Doris, she had to be rebuilt a couple different times until we finally got her right. But then we rehearsed at Oracle Arena in Oakland for another week. So kind of the stage would go away for a few months and then come back. And it took about 1.5 years to build that thing and get it right. But we did end up in Mexico City for 2 weeks, and it basically, our management threw us in front of 20,000 people a night. I mean, we're talking chain link fence. It was Mad Max, 100%. And that was where we kind of honed in our skills on that stage, and it was an amazing audience. That crowd was absolutely phenomenal. But by the time we got to Canada, you know, we were able to navigate just enough to be safe enough, I should say. It's never foolproof, but you know, the Canadians were great too. It all came together in the end.
I just want to know, when you've already seen the movie, we haven't, but you've already seen it all the way through, right?
Yes.
So I think everybody, as we sit down and watch this thing, we want to know what your favorite part is, maybe what your favorite song, how it came out in the movie, or your favorite part of the plot, or you know, your favorite part to play. So tell us the parts of the movie that you like the best.
Well, I don't want to give it all away. There's a cool bass moment in there that everyone seems to really, really love. So check that out. I think you're going to like that. I like it when there's the one scene where Lars and Dane are walking down this hallway together, and it's so Lars because he's always got that vein kind of bulging out of his forehead, and you know, and they walk by and they kind of give each other the death stare, like they're going to you know, start throwing some blows and stuff. And I like that. I don't know, I like the vibe of that. It was very spontaneous. You know, as far as performance stuff, One is really amazing. The song One is a really heavy moment. The sound is incredible. It's really, I think this has to be probably one of the best sounding concert films ever. There's a system called Atmos that we spent time with. It's sort of the new surround sound, and yeah. So our engineer Greg Fiddleman has done like multiple mixes for depending on the type of sound system that they have throughout, you know, the world, the universe, and so I'm sure it's going to sound great today. Yeah.
All right, one final thing. I want you to tell me, your wife was at the premiere in LA last night where Lars was. And this afternoon we were talking about it, and she was in the movie watching it. Right. And during the movie, she sent you a text message because she looked up there and said that you looked like what? And I think these guys are going to think, are you going to show us the text message?
I'll show you the text here. Let's see.
Get your number?
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying.
Party over here. Okay, what is that?
So all it says is Glenn Danzig.
So, during the song Memory Remains, we're all up there kind of at the end of the song, everybody's singing, we're doing this, and there's one shot of me and she goes, oh, wait, she's from France. She's like, wait, Robert, you look like Glenn Danzig. and she just won't stop. I mean, it's like, I sit down and watch the film with her, and like everything's kind of like, you know, you're doing this there, but that one shot there, she really gave me a hard time for. I'm sure you'll see it, and you'll have a laugh with that.
Well, I think I speak for everybody here when I say that there was a lot of effort to get you up here tonight. A midnight screening. So thank you so much for coming to Boston to let us experience Through the Never for the first time. Guys, a round of applause for Robert Trujillo. I will give you the microphone and let you introduce the movie.
One thing that we all gotta pay tribute to is in honor of our brother Cliff Burton. He passed away. Yes, and you know, I honestly believe that Cliff would love this film, and if you stay for the very end, there is a really special moment with the band, and you know, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, we got to remember Cliff. He's here in spirit. He would want to see all of you, and you know, the love for him is stronger than ever. So enjoy the film. It's a wild ride. It kicks ass. I'm sure you won't be disappointed, and get ready to have a great time. Cool. All right, thanks a lot. Yeah!
Are you that old? No. All right, so like during a concert movie, do you find yourself playing differently or trying to act in a different way towards the cameras, or is that how you always put on an awesome show? Might I add, it's awesome.
Well, you know, my own personal thing is every time I walk out on stage, I give it 110%. For this situation where we recorded this movie in Edmonton and in Vancouver, we walked out there with that similar attitude. The only thing is there's these big cameras just right next to us, and for us, everything we do, we record on film, whether it's recording an album, going on tour, playing shows, writing, you know, doing press or whatever, there's always cameras around us. So we're just really accustomed to having cameras just shoved in our faces. And when we were filming this movie, we decided between the four of us that we were going to play to the cameras as much as possible because we were doing the shows for the movie, and so for the best cinematic effect, we had to like really mug for the cameras and get in the cameras' lenses, which is something we don't normally do, but we did it this time because we wanted to take advantage of the full IMAX 3D effect.
Right on. All right, my last question, because let's get the show on the road here. This movie's awesome. You're gonna love it. Do you have a girlfriend / do you want to go out on a date with me tonight? Do you have somewhere to be?
I have, yeah.
Because I can get us some tickets.
We can go see a movie.
I know a killer movie that's about to play. Popcorn's on me, pal.
Sounds good, but I have to hop on a flight to go to Dallas and introduce the movie there in Dallas. I know.
Dallas? What?
Well, you know, hey, you know, business. Now, Dallas is a beautiful, beautiful town too. But you know, it's a real honor to be here, and I just want to say that you know this is your opportunity to see Metallica like you've never ever experienced us before. I really feel that this movie is unique and special and different, and again, it's an honor to be able to present it to you guys. So here we go, Metallica Through the Never. Yeah!